There is a moment in every person's life when silence grows louder than noise, when the weight of unlived potential begins to scream louder than comfort, and when the mind whispers, not in fear, but in command, there is more, and it begins with you. You see, the greatest poverty isn't a lack of money, it's a lack of direction. The richest graveyard in the world lies not in Wall Street, but in the silent corners of unrealized dreams, unfinished ideas, and thoughts never born into action. Because here's the truth they don't teach you in school: wealth is not something you chase, it is something you become. And the process of becoming wealthy, truly wealthy, begins not in your wallet, but in your mind. Edison didn't wait for light, he created it. Carnegie didn't stumble upon riches, he engineered them. Ford didn't wish for industry, he built an empire in his mind before one bolt touched steel. These men were not gods. They bled like you. They doubted. They failed. But they understood something the world still fails to grasp. Thoughts are not just ideas, thoughts are seeds. And if you learn to plant the right ones in the right soil, with the right discipline, you won't just have wealth, you will embody it. Now, listen closely. This is not a list, this is a map. And if you follow it with every fiber of who you are, if you let it burn away everything that no longer serves your future, you will never be poor again, not in mindset, not in spirit, and never again in reality. Step one: clarity, the blueprint of the mind. The first step to turning thoughts into wealth is not action, it's not hustle, it's clarity. A skyscraper cannot rise until the blueprint is burned into the mind of the architect. A legacy cannot be built until the vision is more vivid than the memory of failure. What do you want? No, really. What do you want? Not what your parents told you to want, not what society applauds, not what makes you fit into their boxes of normal, but what burns in you, what haunts you at night, what shakes your bones when you imagine it, and scares you because it feels too big. Good. That's the one. Because if it doesn't scare you, it's not wealth. It's just survival in disguise. Wealth demands vision, and vision is a choice. You don't discover your future, you design it. Write it down, see it, name it, make it real before anyone else does. That's the first law of the wealthy mind. The external always obeys the internal. Your world will bend to the clarity of your vision, or it will consume you in distraction. Step two: belief, the forge of the soul. Let me tell you something brutal and beautiful. No one's coming to save you, and no one has to, because the power to become everything you dream of is already inside you, but it lies dormant until it is activated by belief, not the belief handed to you by religion or tradition. I'm talking about self belief forged in fire, the kind that stands naked in front of doubt and doesn't blink, the kind that says, even if no one sees it, I do. Even if no one claps, I will keep climbing. Andrew Carnegie said, think of yourself as on the threshold of unparalleled success. A whole, clear, glorious life lies before you. Achieve, achieve. But how? How do you believe when your past has only taught you to doubt? Here's how. You remember that belief is a muscle, not a miracle. It grows through action, through repetition, through showing up when you don't feel like it, through doing it anyway. You stop waiting for evidence, and you become the evidence. You stop begging the world to see you, and you see yourself so clearly that the world has no choice but to look. Every fortune began with a whisper of self belief, and every empire was once just a thought someone refused to let die. Step three: decision, the bridge from thinking to being. Thoughts are power, beliefs are fuel, but without decision, they are nothing but wind. The third step to wealth is the most terrifying: commitment. Most people never build wealth, not because they lack intelligence, but because they refuse to decide. They keep doors open, they hedge their bets, they whisper, maybe, when life demands a roar of certainty. Decision is what turns fog into focus. It is the line you draw in the sand. It is the moment you stop trying and start becoming. Walt Disney was told by 302 banks that his dream of Disneyland was impossible. Imagine if he had said, well, maybe they're right. He didn't. He decided, and the world bent to that decision. When you decide, truly decide, you change your frequency. You start showing up different, speaking different, walking different, and the world reacts. Because wealth does not respond to indecision, it responds to conviction. So burn the boats, close the back doors, and let every action you take scream, I have decided who I am, and I will not return to who I was. Step 4: Discipline, the architect of reality. Let's destroy a lie right now. Motivation is not what builds success. Discipline does. Motivation is the spark. Discipline is the furnace. You don't need to feel like it. You need to become the kind of person who does it anyway. The wealthy don't have more time. They don't have fewer problems. What they have is standards. They rise early not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. They say no to distractions not because they're saints, but because they've seen what mediocrity costs. They train the body, sharpen the mind, guard their time, protect their peace, because they know what's at stake. And here's the secret: discipline is not deprivation, it is freedom. It is saying no to the lesser so you can live in alignment with the greater. You think it's hard now? Try living a life of regret. Try waking up in 10 years and realizing you traded destiny for comfort. That's the real cost. That's the tax of undisciplined thought. But if you choose differently, if you train your habits, structure your day, and raise your standards, then slowly, silently, your thoughts begin to materialize. You wake up one day and realize this isn't just a dream anymore. This is real because you made it so. Step 5: Alignment, the spirit of execution. You've dreamed, you've believed, you've decided, you've disciplined. Now comes the final piece, the thread that binds it all into motion: alignment. Because no matter how vivid your vision, no matter how bold your decisions, if your actions are out of sync with your values, if your daily behaviors contradict the wealth you claim to want, you will remain trapped, not by lack, but by internal conflict. Alignment is when your thoughts, words, and deeds all point in the same direction. It's when your habits echo your values, when your schedule reflects your priorities, when your energy, your company, your surroundings all tell the same story. I am building something unstoppable. Think of a train on tracks, 1 degree off, and it derails. That's how most people live: out of alignment, off track, misfiring. They speak abundance but think lack. They post motivation but live distraction. They wish for more but won't let go of what keeps them small. Henry Ford wasn't just a genius of mechanics, he was a master of alignment. Every move was in service of the vision. From the factory floor to the slogans on the wall, he created an ecosystem of belief, and wealth responded. This is what you must build: an inner and outer environment that supports, protects, and multiplies your thoughts of wealth. It means saying no to people who drain your energy, no to habits that fragment your focus, no to anything, and I mean anything, that does not move you toward the person you are becoming. Because here's the law no one escapes. Your environment either evolves you or erodes you, and you cannot think your way into wealth while living in a world built for average. So cleanse, audit, organize, construct your world, inner and outer, to reflect your future, not your past. Only then will your thoughts have the space to breathe, to grow, to create. Wealth is not a destination, it's a frequency. Pause, breathe, let this sink into your bones. Wealth is not something you get, it's someone you become. It's not the number in your bank account, it's not the car, the house, the applause. It is a frequency, and you tune into it through who you are becoming. Every thought you think is a frequency, every emotion you carry is a signal. Every action you take either amplifies or diminishes the signal you send into the world. You think wealth is paper? Wealth is power concentrated in intention. Wealth is what happens when your entire being says, I am ready, I am willing, I am now. The universe responds to congruence, to clarity, to courage. It will not reward the doubter. It will not hand fortune to the one who only hopes, but it will move mountains for the one who aligns their entire soul toward a single outcome and refuses to accept anything less. That is wealth. Everything begins in the dark. Before the fruit, there is the seed. Before the sunrise, there is the silence. Before the glory, there is always the grind. Do not despise the dark. Do not curse the nights when no one claps, when the bank is empty, when the mirror looks back with shame, because those nights, those silent battles no one sees, are the birthplace of your empire. Abraham Lincoln knew it. 12 defeats before presidency, failures, losses, death. But he rose, not because he was the smartest, but because he refused to die in the dark. That's what you must do. Refuse to surrender your mind to mediocrity. Refuse to water down your gift. Refuse to let the opinions of the blind distort the vision God gave you. You were born to do more than survive. You were born to command reality with your thoughts and shape the world with your belief, but only if you endure, only if you stay. This is the difference between the great and the forgotten. The great stayed long enough in the dark to see the light. They trusted the process when everything inside them screamed to quit. And you must do the same, because thoughts don't become wealth overnight. They become wealth through faith applied with fire. From victim to visionary. Now let me speak to the part of you that still doubts, the voice that says, I've tried before, I've failed, it's too late for me. That voice is not your own. It was planted by parents who didn't believe in themselves, by teachers who didn't understand your mind, by systems designed to keep you small. But today, you evict it. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the architect of them. You are not here to repeat. You are here to rebuild. You are not here to blend in. You are here to break molds, to shatter ceilings, to take what lives in your imagination and drag it into reality with force. You don't need another course. You don't need another motivational quote. You need to look in the mirror and remember who you are. The same intelligence that built pyramids, flew to the moon, and turned wire and metal into light lives in you. It always has, and it always will. The moment of decision, become the fire. So now we arrive at the moment, not of understanding, but of decision. Because knowledge is useless without application, powerless without embodiment. Thoughts die without motion. This is your moment to decide. Will you keep thinking small, or will you dare to believe that you can create wealth with the force of your mind? Will you keep dreaming, or will you become the dream itself? The world will not hand you wealth, but it will mirror back what you become. And if you become relentless, if you become focused, if you become disciplined, the world will kneel, not because you begged, but because you became inevitable. The invisible bridge, walking where none have walked. There comes a time in every creator's journey, a line no map can show, a bridge no architect can build. It's the place between thought and manifestation, between what exists in your mind and what appears in your life. And the terrifying truth is that bridge is invisible. You won't see it until you start walking. That's where most turn back. That's where dreams die quietly, not because they weren't worthy, but because someone waited for certainty before moving. Listen carefully. Certainty is the illusion of the uninspired, but vision is the fire of those who walk by faith. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb by waiting for approval. He walked the invisible path, 10,000 failures, 10,000 no's from the world, and yet he kept walking because he saw what didn't exist and acted like it already did. You must do the same. You must walk like the path is already paved. You must speak like the world is already listening. You must create like the fortune already has your name on it. Because here's the secret no one wants to tell you. Reality follows belief, not the other way around. They told Disney his ideas were childish. They told Oprah she wasn't fit for television. They told Elon it couldn't be done, but they walked anyway. And with each step, the ground appeared. The bridge built itself beneath their feet, not by magic, but by the law of persistence, by the authority of unshakable thought aligned with unrelenting action. That's the power of belief in motion, the enemies of thought-born wealth. But don't be deceived. There are enemies, not out there, in here. They wear familiar names: doubt, distraction, delay. Doubt whispers, "What if I'm not good enough?" Distraction says, "Just check your phone one more time." Delay pleads, "Start tomorrow. You're not ready yet." These are assassins, killers of kings and queens before their time, silent thieves that rob the world of books never written, businesses never started, legacies never born. Do not entertain them. You cannot afford to babysit your fear. You cannot make peace with the very things trying to bury you alive. Every time you indulge in doubt, you delay destiny. Every time you delay action, you water weeds instead of vision. Every time you excuse your own potential, you hand the world a dull, diluted version of yourself, and you were never meant to live diluted. You were meant to set the world on fire with your thoughts. You were meant to erupt with ideas so bold they scare you. You were meant to wake up every morning electrified by purpose. But that only happens when you declare war on the voices that keep you small. You don't negotiate with mediocrity. You destroy it with consistency, with clarity, with courage. Because if you don't kill your excuses, they will kill your wealth. Internal empire. The battle is within. All wealth is internal first. Before it's money, it's mindset. Before it's gold, it's grit. You want fortune? Then you must first become a fortress. Your thoughts must become soldiers. Your focus, a gate no enemy passes. Your purpose, the throne you defend, even if it costs your comfort. Carnegie built steel, but first, he built himself. He forged his mind in the fire of study, of sacrifice, of solitude. And that's what few are willing to do today. We chase quick wins. We chase dopamine. We chase applause. But we forget True wealth chases the one who is built to carry it. So before you get rich, get rooted, get real, get quiet enough to hear the truth no one else can give you, that the treasure is already in your thoughts. Your job is to prove you're ready for it. So study, so serve, so become worthy of the wealth you seek, because money without mission is a curse. Success without soul is bankruptcy. But when you are aligned, when you are clear, committed, convicted, wealth becomes inevitable. Now is the hour. Become the storm. This is no longer about motivation. This is about awakening, an alarm clock for the soul, a roaring reminder that you are not average, that you are not here to survive this life, but to command it. The hour is now. The excuses are dead. The vision is burning, and the only thing left is for you to rise into it. No more someday. No more waiting for the right time. No more praying for signs that have already been given. You're not here to tiptoe into destiny. You're here to take it with both hands and declare, I will turn these thoughts into wealth, or I will die trying. This is the calling. This is the battle cry. This is your moment to become legend. The decision that divides legends from the lost. There comes a moment in every life when the silence gets so loud you can finally hear your soul speak. And it doesn't whisper, it roars. It says, enough, enough waiting, enough hiding, enough doubting the very dream that was planted inside you for a reason. You see, wealth isn't just money, it's the ability to command your life, to wake up with direction, to sleep with peace, and to walk through the world so aligned with your purpose that even fear starts to fear you. But that version of you, the one who multiplies thoughts into fortune, the one who builds empires from imagination, that version doesn't appear by chance. It appears by decision, one decision. And it's this: I will never betray the vision again, because you've done it before, haven't you? You've had the fire, you've had the vision. But when the world laughed, you laughed with them. When resistance rose, you laid down. When the comfort called, you answered, not anymore. This is where you choose to live small or to live sovereign, to shrink or to expand, to delay or to dominate. This is the fork in the road where you either justify your limitations or you build the life that silences every last one of them. Make the decision. Make it now. Burn the boats. The inner millionaire. Your mind is the bank. Understand this. Every dollar you want is already printed, but not in the bank. It's printed in your belief system. The bank is your mind, and you are either making daily deposits of vision or daily withdrawals of fear. Every time you hold a thought long enough, believe it deep enough, and act on it hard enough, the universe has no choice but to match it, because thought is not passive. It is a force, a spiritual blueprint, a vibrational command, a seed that becomes form when watered with unwavering action. You think you're just thinking, but you're planting, and soon your life will be the garden of your thoughts. Whether blooming or broken depends entirely on what you've sown. So plant with intention, build belief like a fortress, study wealth like a language, speak as if it's done, move as if it's near, and it will be. Wealth doesn't respond to wishes, it responds to alignment. When who you are, what you think, what you speak, and what you do all speak the same truth, that's when money listens. You are the source. Nothing outside you is coming. People wait their whole lives for something to save them: a mentor, a handout, a perfect opportunity, a miracle. But what if I told you nothing is coming because it's already here? It's you. You are the miracle. You are the source. You are the one your younger self was praying for. You're not broken. You're not too late. You're not unworthy. You are fully equipped, fully ready, fully capable, but only the version of you that is brave enough to take responsibility will ever know it. There is no savior. There is only self authority. There is no someday. There is only now. There is no lottery ticket, only the laws of thought, belief, and persistence. Stop outsourcing your power. You were never meant to be rescued. You were meant to rise. The final step, the step that never ends. And now we arrive at the fifth step, the one most people forget. It's not sexy. It's not loud. It won't go viral. But it's the step that will determine everything: repetition, the daily deliberate act of becoming, the war won not in moments, but in habits. Do you really want to turn your thoughts into wealth? Then prove it. Wake up before comfort tells you to. Create even when inspiration hides. Study when no one claps. Build when it feels like nothing is happening, because something is happening. Every repetition is a brick. Every act of discipline is a dollar. Every thought aligned with purpose is a contract signed with the universe. And when you show up for the vision day after day, storm after storm, empty pocket after empty pocket, you will arrive, not by chance, but by covenant, a sacred agreement with life that says, I am not here to fit in. I am here to forge. I am not here to survive this place. I am here to reign in it. The closing call: become what you were born to be. This is not a video. This is a mirror, and it is asking you the most important question of your life. Will you become who you were born to be? Not someday. Now is when you stop scrolling and start building. Now is when you stop comparing and start becoming. Now is when you stop waiting for wealth and start creating it. Because it's not about the money, it never was. It's about remembering that you are the source, that your thoughts are power, that your belief is gold, that your purpose is the key, and that your time is now. So go, walk the bridge no one can see, speak the words only you were born to say, act with fire, think with faith, move like it's already done. And when they ask you how you did it, how you turned mere thoughts into fortune, smile and say, I stopped waiting for permission and I remembered who I was.